Hello, everybody. I'm Kathy Palmer, the Executive Director for TTRA, and it is my pleasure to introduce Sheila Flanagan, who is the chair of the Marketing Outlook Forum, to talk to us a little bit about Marketing Outlook Forum 2025.
Thank you, Kathy, and good afternoon, everybody. Great to see you. Some familiar faces beginning to appear on the screen and some new faces as well, which we're always delighted to welcome. In any event, great to see you all, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm the co-chair of Marketing Outlook Forum with Dr. Suzanne Cook, who's also on this call with me, but I'm going to be the host for this afternoon's session. So what we wanted to use this webinar for is to give you some insights into Marketing Outlook Forum 2025, which is happening later this month on the 27th, Monday the 27th to Wednesday the 29th of January in Fort Worth, Texas. Great venue. And we have Stephanie from Fort Worth with us this afternoon as well. And she'll be telling you a little bit about what to expect on our visit there later on. So this year, our Marketing Outlook Forum has been running for many, many years, originally with the US Travel Association, and then TTRA took over the forum in 2012, I think it was. And we have been running it since. As the name suggests, it is an Outlook forum. It is a forum that where our presenters and our experts will guide you through the trends that are anticipated for our sector for the next 12 to 14 months. And they will provide you with the tools that you can bring back to your office to help you plan in a meaningful way and in a sustainable way for the future. But as well as that, Marketing Outlook Forum is very much a social conference as well. Nobody ever comes to the forum and feels lonely. There are a lot of events and social activities that make the forum really, I suppose, a memorable experience, but more of that later on. So today what we're going to do, you're going to hear from some of our speakers. You're going to hear about some of the sessions that you can look forward to later on this month. And then we'll have some time at the very end if you have some questions, or if you want to put some questions into the chat line. We will be delighted to talk to you later on at the end and help you in any way if you have areas or issues that you want to discuss with us. So the theme this year for Marketing Outlook Forum is From Data to Destination, Shaping Tourism's Future. So as I said, this is very much about planning for the future, looking at the current trends that are impacting on our industry, looking forward in terms of what we can expect over the next couple of months, looking and using data, very much using data to guide our strategic thinking, and most importantly, our decision making within the tourism industry. So it's really, you will, when you hear from some of our speakers, what you will hear is that this is the first time that various data is being presented. It's the first time this year that particular trends are being discussed. New data, new information. That's very much what the forum is about. Again, we've just come through an election, and one of our speakers will be talking about what can we expect from an economic perspective over the next year. How is that going to impact on the tourism industry? How is it going to impact in my state, in my county? What do I need to do to ensure sustainable growth for the next short to medium term? So this is the conference to go to, where you can get those insights and those data sets that will enable you to drive forward for the next year. But it's all done in a very friendly and, in many instances, informal and interactive type scenario. We listen to what our speakers and our audience say to us every year. We use that feedback, which helps shape our program for the coming year. And many of the sessions that we will talk about this afternoon are there at the request of our attendees in the past. So let's meet some of the speakers, and I'm going to introduce you first of all to Marlise Taylor from Visit North Carolina. And Marlise is a regular at Marketing Outlook Forum. She's a regular attendee, but she's also a regular presenter. And she organises and manages one of those popular slots that we're asked to renew every year and run every year, and that is the DMO Roundtable. So Marlise, could I ask you to maybe tell us a little bit about the Roundtable and what attendees could expect from the Roundtable this year?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. So one of my favorite things about Marketing Outlook Forum is this DMO Roundtable, or open forum, as I like to call it sometimes, that I've been fortunate enough to moderate for the last, 7, 8, 10 years. I'm not sure. But this session is really invaluable for researchers, but not just researchers, but also those marketers who we work in collaboration with. So, we have our June conference that is mostly research based, but what's special about Marketing Outlook Forum is that we have a lot of marketing professionals as well, and they're also invited to this DMO Roundtable. For instance, each year to Marketing Outlook Forum, I bring my executive director and my marketing director, as well as members from our agency of record, and many times they will come to this session as well. So it's invaluable not just to researchers, but also those marketers who we are working in collaboration with to put that research into practice and to use that research. So it's like Sheila said, it's really an open forum. We do have a set agenda that I'm working on now. So if any of you are interested, just send me an idea. I'm working on our agenda, but it's really a time where we could share those issues or concerns that we're dealing with in the marketing research world. We could share our wins. We could share, our celebrations, and really ask questions in an open format of our peers and colleagues. And it's not just for those new to Marketing Outlook Forum, that would be a great thing for a new attendee to come to. It's, old timers like myself. I've been coming to this conference for almost 20 years. I can't believe it. But it continues to be one of the best forums. And this session, long before I helped moderate it, was one that I went to every single year. So really important. Again, we have attendees who have been attending longer than I have, but each year we run out of time before we run out of topics. We've never ended early. So I beg Sheila and team every year to give me another hour. It's so hard to fit that in. But I would just encourage you to come to the conference, but also come to that first morning session. You're welcome. We usually have some breakfast there, but come with your questions. We have usually a set agenda of 2 or 3 different mini presentations, but then we open it up to questions. And so, it may be something that you don't even think about until you get in there. But I would highly encourage you to pencil that in. It's that first session. I guess it's Monday morning this year. But really excited to meet new tourism marketers and researchers, and then, of course, see my old friends who I see each year. But yeah, if you have questions, if you have ideas on, a topic that you would like to have discussed at this forum, like I said, I'm putting together the agenda now. I'm happy for you to email me and let me know of ideas that you have, a burning question that you may have that you would like to talk to other people throughout the membership or the attendees about. You'll find them very friendly, very willing to help each other. We compete for visitors, but we sure work together on the common issues that we have. So really that's all I have, but I encourage you to attend both the conference and this session. I think you'll get a lot out of it. I don't think you'll walk away regretting that you came to it. So thank you, Sheila, for this opportunity to kind of promote this session. Again, it's really special to me and happy to be a part of this planning committee.
It's great. Thank you, Marlise, and thank you for your dedication to the management of the DMO Roundtable over many, many years at this stage. I have to say it is one of the most anticipated sessions within Marketing Outlook Forum. People love it. They love the informal and interactive nature of it. But as well as that, as Marlise has said, it is, it's structured as well. It has got, Marlise will introduce topics. People share their insights in relation to the burning topics of the day. So it's both the structured element of it and then the informal networking and shared intelligence. That's the real value of the DMO Roundtable, and that's why we're asked to repeat it year in, year out. But moving on then to another session, I just wanted to allude to or to mention to you within the context of this webinar. It's a new one that we're doing this year. It's on day one as well. It's at the end of day one. So Marlise will be kicking our day off with the DMO roundtable, and we'll be finishing with Lindsay Mill. And we're delighted to have Lindsay with us this year. Lindsay is the VP of Marketing at Meet Boston. And, and I think like many of us, we travel through Boston, certainly me coming from my part of the world, I'm coming from Europe and coming from Ireland. We transition through Boston quite often as a hub. Sometimes we stop, but I don't really know much about their tourism story. I know, it's a hub. I know it's a commercial city. I know of its importance, the strategic importance on the east coast of the USA. But actually, in terms of getting insights into what they're doing and what they intend to do into the future, that's the great unknown. And they have a new strategy that they are unveiling in relation to trying to transform their visitor experience, their destination marketing, and also promoting sustainable tourism growth. And they're going to unveil that for the first time at Marketing Outlook Forum this year. So it's great to have a big city with us this time round, and it's great that we're going to be hearing fresh, new, first-time information. Lindsay will be looking at what she describes as future-focused initiatives that really perfectly align with the theme of the conference this year. But in all of these sessions, if they're interactive sessions like the one that Marlise has just described, or Lindsay's session, which is a presentation, there is time for interaction, because again, that's feedback that we get from our audience year in, year out. We want to talk to the speakers. We want to interact with them. So whether it's through a Q&A at the end or through one of the many networking sessions that we've organized, there will be opportunity to touch base with the speakers. On day two, that's our long day, so to speak. So it's our full day. That's the Tuesday of the conference. It's jam-packed with a lot of presentations. So at the end of the day, we like to do something different and maybe bring somebody in from outside of our industry who might get us to think a little bit differently, throw a few curved balls our direction, and get us to maybe look at our problems, looking at, maybe using new techniques. So, but we also want to energize people after a long day. We want to send them out to the evening reception, brimful of energy and excitement. So we're delighted to have Noel O'D with us this year. And Noel comes to us from north of the border, from Canada. And I'm going to ask Mike Kierstead maybe to tell us a little bit about Noel, because Mike has had the pleasure of seeing Noel speak a number of times.
Sure, Sheila. Thank you. Noel's, what you need to know about Noel is he's an absolute gem. AMA marketing legend, yes. Gold Lion winner, yes. His agency, Target Marketing, which is based in Newfoundland and Labrador, has been the AOR for the province for 40 years. In his session, no one ever bored anyone into buying anything. Noel will really sort of take us on a journey down the strategic and creative road less traveled, you know, how marketers can differentiate brands, build competitive advantages, and really connect with audiences in today's over communicated world. So I highly recommend not missing Noel's session. By all accounts, it should be amazing. So yeah, really looking forward to hearing him in Fort Worth.
Great. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for that. Going back to day one, kicking off the conference proper, we have to set the context and we have to know where we are from, I suppose, an economic perspective. And nobody better to do that than Adam Sachs from Tourism Economics. Adam is a regular speaker at Marketing Outlook Forum. He is part of Marketing Outlook Forum at this stage, part of the furniture, so to speak. And he will provide us with that economic outlook that will enable us and enable our attendees to get, he'll take us into a deep dive, if you like, of the latest economic trends that are going to shape the travel industry for the year ahead. So he gives us the broad perspective and he gives us his insights and he gives us his predictions for the year ahead, and also examines some of the challenges that will be facing us. So Adam is going to provide us now with just some insights, a short introduction to the session that we can look forward to. Maybe we can play Adam's video at this point, please, Mike. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. It's Adam Sachs from Tourism Economics. Happy New Year. I am looking forward to being together again in Fort Worth, Texas for Marketing Outlook Forum. And I wanted to share just a few highlights of what we're working on for that. We will unavoidably talk about policy and the implications of the Trump administration's stated intentions as far as immigration policy that will have effects on the workforce for the travel industry, that will also have potential effects on travel to the U.S. And there we'll get into tariffs and the potential effects there in terms of retaliation from certain travel markets. It is going to be interesting. We'll also talk about household finances. Tariffs are going to play a role there, but there are some interesting distinctions as you look at different types of households and where they are as far as wealth and savings and debt. The implications for travel are significant, and we'll talk about that in the session that I'll be presenting at. What else? We'll talk about corporate and group travel. Intentions there remain really strong, and so generally good news to share as far as the corporate and group side of things. We'll look at the outlook for international, for domestic, just try to get into the weeds and get a clear view of the future, at least as well as we can see it from where we sit now. But overall, I am just thrilled to be able to be with you again in Fort Worth, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks.
Thank you, Adam. And just to say to you folks, Adam's session is one of the most anticipated sessions within the conference because he provides us with that context, that global and national economic context that will shape our future over the next 12 months or so. And then obviously the consumer is the other side of the equation. And we're delighted again to be joined this year by Frances Erin Cummins. And Frances is, for those of you who know her, she's the president and CEO of Future Partners, but she spent nearly 2 decades analysing global travel behaviours. And in her session, Erin will share with us the consumer perspective. So it's a lovely back-to-back with Adam. Adam is giving us the sort of demand, the global context, but what's happening on the consumer side, and we'll be handing over to Erin, who will tell us what we can anticipate in the next immediate future. So Erin is with us, and I think she's going to tell us a little bit about her session. And also, Erin has been a regular at MOF over many years as well, and in her current role and past roles has found the conference extremely useful in terms of assisting her professionally. So, Erin, would you like to maybe tell our guests a little bit about Traveller Insights?
Yes, I would love to. And my first marketing outlook forum was 12 years ago. And it is the best opportunity to connect with not just our own tourism research community, but those insight-driven marketers. There's just no other events where we can bring these two groups together and come up with the most actionable plans and the insights that drive those plans. So I will follow Adam, and Adam likes presenting with me because I bring in he has all this amazing on the how, and I'll bring in the why with that consumer perspective. I will be sharing from our historic data set, which does go back almost 2 decades, but also fresh data that will have just been collected a few weeks ago when you see it at Marketing Outlook Forum. I will cover consumer travel sentiment. It's a very valuable proven predictor of behavior that we will then see in the coming months. And then get into travel trends, and really importantly, the predictions that travelers are seeing as a trend that will really take off this year, and the profiles of those travelers that are going to drive those trends from something like as polarizing as not using your smartphone as much when you travel to on the other end of the spectrum, fully using artificial intelligence to plan your trip. On the marketing side, we'll in my presentation, I'll really look into the why behind travel decision making and how travel brands can benefit from that. Also look at the competitive context for destination and travel brand. And then I will actually share some quotes and videos from traveling consumers themselves. And then on the tactical side, the media usage that travelers are saying that they are doing and consuming right now. So looking forward to seeing everyone in just a few short weeks.
Great, Erin. Thank you. And thank you again for agreeing to be involved and presenting at MOF. And we're really looking forward to your presentation. And again, folks, as I said at the outset, much of this data, as Erin has alluded to, is new data that will be shared for the very first time. Moving onwards then, I did mention networking, and this is a fun conference as well as a serious conference, but we do allow for networking opportunities, and also we like to make the best of the destination that we're in. So this year we're in Fort Worth, and we have Stephanie Rodriguez with us from Visit Fort Worth, and she's going to share some insights with us now into what we can look forward to or expect on our visit to Fort Worth. Stephanie, thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie Rodriguez. I'm Senior Convention Services Manager with Visit Fort Worth. We are so excited to have you all in Fort Worth in 19 days. We'll move on to the next slide. So I did just want to give you just a little history. So Fort Worth is very rich in cowboy history, from Hell's Half Acre to the Chisholm Trail. The city, roots back from the early 1800s to now being the 12th largest city in the country. We are very proud of our identity as the modern West, both with cowboy spirit and a very forward-thinking, innovative city. Each area of the Fort Worth has its own distinct personality. So in downtown, you'll be able to experience a vibrant, walkable downtown area in the Sundance Square. We also have one of the top-rated zoos in the area. Our cultural district houses 5 of our top museums. There's the Kimball Art Museum, Amon Carter. If you have an opportunity to check out the Trail of Fame, the Cowgirl Trail of Fame, That's a really amazing museum there in the cultural district as well. And then, of course, we have lots of fine dining. So when it comes to places to eat, Fort Worth will not leave you hungry. Joe T. Garcia's is one of our must-see destination restaurants. The city is also home to Goldie's Barbecue, which was ranked #1 in the Texas Monthly magazine, as well as Panther City Barbecue. They were recently recognized in the Michelin Guide. So no matter what you're craving, from steaks to seafood to Mexican food, you'll definitely find it here in Fort Worth. And then we also have lots of transportation options. We have a Texrail service that runs out of Terminal B at DFW Airport, and that'll bring you right into downtown Fort Worth. There's also a trolley service that circulates through the downtown area, and you can catch that right outside of your host hotel. Next slide. In our historic Stockyard district, there's many offerings. That's definitely where you have the true, authentic Western experience. That's where you'll see the world's only twice daily cattle drive, as well as the world's largest honky tonk, which is Billy Bob's, Texas. Billy Bob's is home to one of the most unique venues that we have here in Fort Worth. So we have plenty of venues, of course, for people to host their events at, but Billy Bob's is one that everybody wants to see, and it's definitely the most popular. Visit Fort Worth is excited to host the welcome reception there on Monday night. So be sure to pack up your boots and be ready for a night of dancing and great photo opportunities there. Next slide. On Tuesday night, there's a scheduled night at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. That is going to be held at our newly built Dickies Arena in the Cultural District. It'll be a fun night to see live pro rodeo. You'll experience 8 different events, from bareback bronco riding to women's break roping, barrel racing, and bull riding. So that's 56 different athletes qualifying for the tournament titles. So that's a really fun event. It's here mid-January through early February annually, and we've been hosting that since like the early 1900s, which originally started out in the stockyards but had to move to something larger. So we definitely can't wait for you all to experience all the exciting attractions combined with Texas's signature hospitality here in Fort Worth.
Thank you, Stephanie, for that. Really looking forward to it. And as Stephanie has said, the visit to Billy Bob's is integrated into the conference. So that is part of the conference program on Monday evening. And then we have the rodeo, which is optional on the Tuesday evening, the visit to the stockyards. But, the networking element, I can't emphasize enough the importance of the networking element and the social events at Marketing Outlook Forum, because that's where, in many instances, the real business takes place. And it's the informal side of it that means that nobody goes away feeling isolated from Marketing Outlook Forum. New friendships are built, and old alliances are rekindled. But it's not all about coffee breaks and rodeos and going to fun events. There is the serious side as well. So the full program is up on our website, and what Mike has just put up for us here are some of the themes that we are going to be looking at this year. We've touched on them already, in terms of the economic outlook. But, increasingly we're asked to focus in on particular topics or events. So air travel is a theme that we're going to be looking at in detail this year. Every year we look at hospitality trends. We look at some specialist trends also. We look at areas such as that are impacting on us, such as AI, for example. So we have some sessions around that. We have sessions looking at as Erin has already talked about, into the future in terms from the consumer perspective, and a number of our big vendors have been looking at traveller sentiment really since COVID. I suppose during COVID, interest in this area began to emerge as travellers were maybe moving to more home vacations, and the patterns were changing. So, we have on the last day a session, again, circling back to the consumer and looking it's that session on clearing up the crystal ball, looking at traveller sentiment over a time period, travel and traveller trends over a period of time, and what to expect. What have been the consistent trends over the last 6-7 years that are likely to stay with us as we move forward? Of course, we can't remain isolated either, and so a very popular session is the session on international travel. How is that changing? What can we expect into the future? And that links back a little bit into the airline industry session that we'll be dealing with as well. So there is the serious side, but there's also the fun side as well. And then, there's a lot of information there, a lot of data, a lot of trends. We ask all of our attendees to provide the audience with their top 3 takeaways from their sessions. And all of our participants provide us with their slide deck, which is the slides are sent and the presentations are sent out to attendees after the event by Kathy and Sarah and the team. So as we finish on the last day, we tried to finish our last session again. It finishes at lunchtime on the Wednesday, send people away on a high. But it's a reflective piece, looking back over the conference and looking at what have we learned from this conference, what have been the key takeaways, what are the trends. And we do it in a fun way. And we've developed, 2 of our colleagues have developed the Marketing Outlook Forum Family Feud. So I'm going to ask David Ryback and Tony Lyle to tell you a little bit now about MOF Family Feud.
Hello there, TTRA community. I'm Tony Lyle from Visit Galveston, and alongside me is the legendary David Reichbach from Future Partners. Though for today, he insists on being referred to as the Steve Harvey of the tourism world.
Guilty as charged. And for the record, Tony is the brains of the operation, which means if anything goes wrong, I'm just here for comedic relief.
Yeah, right. Hey, we're thrilled to give you a sneak peek into one of the most anticipated sessions of the 2025 Marketing Outlook Forum, and that is MOF Feud. It's the session where data meets drama, tourism meets trivia, and everybody's competitive spirit takes center stage.
Exactly. Picture this, a lively game based on the classic TV show Family Feud, but with a TTRA twist. We've surveyed you, the brilliant minds of the TTRA community, and turned your answers into some of the most unexpected and downright hilarious questions you'll ever hear about the travel and tourism industry.
And you may be wondering what our goal is, and it is to end the conference with some laughter, camaraderie, and maybe a few heated debates about what really qualifies as the best MOF tradition.
Plus, it's not just fun and games. The session is about celebrating the insights and quirks that make our community so special. And let's face it, who doesn't love a bit of friendly competition to wrap things up?
Yeah, right. So what can you expect? Well, a room full of energy, a few surprises, and maybe even a cameo from David in a mustache. And I'm just saying, it's not off the table.
Hey, if the mood strikes. But seriously, this is your chance to end MOF 2025 on a high note. Bring your enthusiasm, your sense of humor, and maybe even your game face. You'll need it.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you there. Let's make it the most talk about session on the forum.
And remember, it's not just Family Feud, it's MOF Feud, which means it's smarter, snappier, and a whole lot more fun. See you at the forum.
Let the feud begin.
Hurry.
Great. Thank you, guys. That is going to be a brilliant session. Again, it's although they're making it sound fun, it will be very insightful as well, but a great
Look
way
there,
to
TTRA.
no getting rid of them. It'll be a great way to wrap up MOF. So that's really, I think, enough from us at this point. But you may have questions that you want to ask of us. At this point, it might be maybe questions around the speakers or the sessions, or maybe some logistical questions. We're happy to cover any questions that you might have, or if you want to follow through with an email, we will be very happy to answer that. So there is a question about what the weather will be like. I can see one popping up there. Stephanie, what can we expect from the weather in 3 weeks' time?
Hopefully it's sunny and 40, 50 degrees. That would be perfect, which is typical for the end of January. I mean, we're like the rest of, I guess, the country right now, getting some of that Arctic air and expecting some snow in the next 2 days. So hopefully once that snow's out of here, that's our piece that we get for the year. So
Excellent.
hopefully sunny, we'll see the 10-day once that's released, but hopefully some sunny skies and some cooler air.
Great. That sounds fantastic. Thanks, Stephanie. There was a question there about getting, it's popped off the screen. I can't see it, sorry, on my screen. But somebody had a question about, and I think again, Stephanie, it was from you, about using Amtrak.
Says, what's the best way to get to the hotel from the Amtrak station? It seems too short to get Uber. Would you recommend walking with luggage in that area?
Correct. Yes. So there is a trolley service that is the Fort Worth Central Station where either the Amtrak or the TexRail drop you off. That's the main hub. So you could hop on Molly the trolley, and that will circulate back in front of the Sheraton Hotel, or it is a few blocks to the hotel. So depending on your arrival time, if you're arriving at 2 p.m. and it's lovely, I mean, it is a few short blocks, so you could definitely walk. But if you're arriving, after dark and you're alone, I would definitely maybe do the trolley route instead. Just kind of be aware, just
Okay.
as any city.
Yeah. Thank you. Great. Okay. Kathy, are there any other questions at this point?
For Stephanie again, sorry. How often does Molly the trolley run? Is it 24 hours or are there time parameters?
Time parameter. So it is 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and it runs every 15 minutes.
Okay.
That it?
I don't see any other questions. Does anybody else have anything? You can unmute yourself and speak as well. So we set this up as a meeting instead of a webinar. So if anybody has any questions they would like to ask directly to any of our speakers, we'd love to hear from you. Oh, let's see. There's another one in the chat.
Yeah, Dipsy has one. Yeah, what's the best way to get from Dallas Airport to the hotel? Yeah, I'd be interested in that as well.
Yep. So definitely, if you're used to public transportation, I would recommend the TexRail service. DFW Airport does have different terminals. The TexRail runs out of Terminal B. So you would just need to make sure to take the Skylink over to Terminal B before you exit, and then just follow the signs from there. It's very easy. That costs $2.50 to get to downtown. And of course, we do have shared ride services such as Uber or Lyft as well. And those can range depending on the time of day, anywhere from $35 to $50.
Okay, great. Great. Thank you. Thanks a million. I think that's really helpful for those of us that will be coming in through the airport. And thanks, Dipti, for asking the question. Any questions for any of the speakers or presenters this afternoon? And if not, maybe we will close at this stage. But I just want to thank everybody for joining us. Kathy, if people are interested and we want to see them there because this is going to be a great conference and we really want to give them a great Texas welcome to Fort Worth. Kathy, what do they need to do next?
Registration is still open, so go to the marketingoutlookforum.com website and register, or you can get there from the TTRA website by going to conferences. So we would love to see you there.
Great. Lovely. Okay. And we'll reach out to you all after this session anyway by email. But thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, and really hope to see some new faces at Marketing Outlook Forum at the end of the month. It's going to be a great event, so make sure that you get there. Thank you all for joining us. Really enjoyed it, and look forward to seeing you in person.